I love it. I really do love it. Every time. Every time I start the stream, it's always with a nice little dose of anger. Why? Because I just have to I have to go through the steps that I thought I would have fixed by now after 6 years of doing this. But no, no, I still have the same woes, the same problems. Welcome to the live stream. It's a Wednesday live stream. It's a hot one. Today I'm gonna try to do a call-in special. Now, obviously, I do have some other stuff, some other topics to get to, but I wanted to try it. Now, here's the thing, right? Knowing my track record, what are the odds? What are the odds of having this go successfully, right? They're not really high, are they? As a matter of fact, I would put myself at maybe a 40% successful endeavor here, chance rating of being able to go through this and have it accurately done, accurately, as DJ Khaled would say. So we're going to attempt that a little bit later on. Yeah, I hate this. Every time I have to set this up, there's something that goes wrong. The screen freezes for no reason. I've updated all the drivers. There's a microphone concern. There's my attorney's calling me with taxes. There's always fun. There's always fun. And by my attorney, I mean the individual that got me less money than he did and that the hospital did by getting while I got hit by a car. So it was great. It was tremendous. But I see we have some comments here. Bing bong, Stu Batman. Of course, you know what it is. Wrong one.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Bing bong, my friends. It's a way of life. Especially if you're from, I don't even know where the ghetto is in New York. I just assume the entirety of New York is ghetto. Whereas here, you have certain parts of the hood in Miami that you tend to avoid. Things are getting a lot better in terms of areas that used to be pretty bad. This area was all right, and it has been all right, but it's still pretty hoodie. You got some pretty hoodie tendencies. And you have the hood, the what do you call this? The makings of the hood. In that there's a liquor store, there's a gas station, and there isn't a gun store, though, but there is a pawn shop. So those are things you find in pretty quick succession where I live. It's a wonderful little neighborhood. Lots of characters, lots of colorful characters. Hi from the sunny UK. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. My experience in the UK was maybe 20 minutes of sun, and the rest were just like drab days of overcast, shitty weather, usually cold unnecessarily at night, windy, especially in the countryside. And then in Blackpool, I don't even want to mention the weather in Blackpool, but I do recall, and I don't think I'll ever forget, being hammered, and my clinically retarded ass was leaving a club at I think 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. By the way, all dudes, 90% dudes in that club. Kind of odd, but I guess that's the norm in downtown Blackpool. Weird, but leaving that, and I forgot who I have him on. I think Charlie. I have him on Instagram. He goes, "Hey man, we're gonna head back to by the Ruskin. You want to come with us?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna take a taxi. I'm in a country that I have no idea what the rules and regulations are, but I'm gonna take a taxi, assuming that I could pay for this taxi." Right? Let me refresh this. I don't know why my screen. Maybe it's because I have Discord open in the background, but let's see if this completely kills the stream. Let's figure it out. Okay, refreshed the drivers there. I see myself. Everything's good. Everything's good. The taxis didn't take cash. Sorry, they didn't take credit card. They only took cash. And even though I offered to pay more than the fare, the individual said no. So I ended up having to run back. So down the beach side of Blackpool, England. If you would have looked at approximately 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, I was running down that with the wind pushing me this way. I remember running fully dressed, and because I didn't want to run out of battery, because my phone was at maybe 10% battery, 10 to 15% battery, and quickly draining. So I didn't want to lose battery and then lose track of where I was before I got to the hotel. So I was running like an absolute asshole, and I don't think I would ever forget that. The wind just hitting me, pushing me against the buildings, trying to move around suspicious characters, right? I saw some characters. It was very barren. It was deserted almost. But every time I would see somebody, I'd go, okay, let me go to a different street, because I was paranoid. I was paranoid of being stabbed. So that was my experience over there. I don't know if that's accurate, by the way. If you're somebody that's gone there or somebody from that area or nearby, is that accurate? At 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, you don't necessarily want to be walking around those parts. It seemed pretty decent. I mean, it wasn't like a terrible looking area. It wasn't awful. Definitely didn't come off as hoodie, but I didn't know that. So I'm running down the street, concerned for my life. So that was a fun time, and I don't think I'll ever forget that. I like the way this hat is sitting on my head. This is a Taco Bell hat that was given to me by my good friend Daniel. And of course, this Warren Has a Plan shirt. But I don't like the way it's coming off on camera. Kind of makes me look homeless. So I don't like that. But you know what? I guess that's the theme for the show. Homeless pig. What's the plan when we jump to Discord? So here's my plan. Right, here's my Discord plan, and there are a little bit of rules. I do want to do this as a call-in special, see what it is. However, I've had these before on ham radio, and it usually becomes a kind of a long conversation, right? So the rules would be one and done, right? So one topic, one question, and then hard ending, right? So a hard end on that. Now, if you want to continue, that's all right, but you get only one, right? That's kind of the point of it. So one and done, and then we move on. Because if not, then you're having conversation. You're asking about the kids. You're asking about virginity. So that's going to be that. And then the way that I'm going to do it is that you join the Discord and you join one of the voice channels, and then I'm going to drag you onto the super secret channel, which is not really super secret because it's there. So the Discord link, I believe, is in the description section. You could click on that and get whatever invite to the actual Discord itself. And if you want to join, just join one of the voice channels. And then when I find it appropriate, I'll drag you onto the super secret voice chat. That's the way it's going to work. I know that there's probably a better way to do that. There's definitely a better way. However, when it comes to my lack of knowledge of anything remotely new when it comes to this sort of stuff, even though I'm not that old, right? But it's still, as you could see by the way that this show has gotten and all the pitfalls technologically that I fall into, it's probably going to end up being a mess. I've tried it. It seems to work, right? I've set all the things correctly. Everything is coordinated, leading to the right path, but who knows when I actually try it. So we'll try that in a little bit. Let's see how that works. Chomsky says, accurate. Stu Batman says, I live 30 minutes away from Blackpool in Preston. Blackpool is the murder capital of the Northwest. Is that really a thing? Is that a thing? Like, I really didn't feel that when I was there. And I don't know if that's just me being ignorant. But when I was there, especially, I mean, in the areas that we were, it was, by the Ruskin, right? And then you have, it's 90% hotels. That's the city, essentially. It's 90% hotels. But I'm willing to bet that 95% of them are not with vacancy. So they don't have anyone there, if that's the right way to say it. And then there was a McDonald's in the corner. And just the weirdest strip club I think I've ever been to. And it was just a mess. But that was more downtown. I was kind of on the periphery. And then I was running on the perimeter of Blackpool. Because I figured, nobody's going to be over here by the beach. By the way, it's not really a beach. You can't go and touch the sand. It's more like a barricade. And you could kind of look at the beach, which is nasty. I guess that's why they call it Blackpool, because the beach is literally black. Disgusting. It's not what I'm used to here in sunny South Florida. All right, where there's a beach within 4 minutes. Yeah, it's a shitty beach, but it's a good beach. Definitely better than fucking Blackpool. But that's not even a thing. So I was running down there. So hopefully that was not I don't know if I had the possibility of getting stabbed where I was, but maybe you would know better, Stu. Yeah, really shady people in Blackpool. Mike says, can we ask anything? You could ask anything. There's no restriction here on the channel. I'm not going to restrict you based on what? Magic? Yeah, only stick to magic. What? Could you imagine? Every time I've done like one of these podcasts, I'm like, are we going to talk about magic tricks for an hour and 30 minutes or 2 hours? What can we talk about? And obviously, you ask the standard questions about how you got into magic and all that stuff. But I don't like talking about magic that long, right? Maybe a little bit here and there, like, oh, yeah, this is pretty cool. But then, you get into the rut of, that's the other, speaking of Blackpool, right? I like to talk to people about things other than magic because I want to find out about you. I want to find out, what makes you tick other than just card tricks. So I do like that, showing stuff. And then when I'm in a certain mood, I would love to see just, 3 hours of straight card tricks, but not all the time. Right. I want to, find out about you as an individual without resorting to, hey, look at this. Right. And I found that experience in Magi Fest too. Right, where instead of having conversation, it would quickly turn into essentially a jam session. I'm not familiar with this concept of jamming. I didn't know this was a thing. I just figured, I would see, because I never partake in it. It's always I'm being shown stuff. It's never, oh, let me show you this. Maybe I'll show like a little thing here or there, but never, oh, look, here's this, here's that. It's always one-sided, and that's how I like it. You almost died. This is Michael Lawrence. In the town ain't so bad. If you go to the housing areas, it gets worse. Yeah, I noticed that too. We kind of the one night that I did go through that area was with Peter, and he goes, "You got nothing to worry about, lad." And I'm like, that makes me worry. That makes me worry because I don't want this to be some sort of situation where it's like a father-son moment in every movie where we're walking down the shady area and like 14 gangsters jump him, and then he goes, run for your life, live your life to its fullest, lad. And then I'm running, crying, and then he's just there getting stabbed by some guy that looks like me, right? So I didn't want that to happen. And that's the way he made it feel. But that was a fun one. Young hobos too, which is kind of odd. We went to a McDonald's at like maybe 5 a.m. By the hotel, because of course Peter goes, "Oh, the hotel that I pick is 1.5 miles away from the fucking venue," so we had to commute every time, and Peter would get engaged in his endeavors, so I would have to find my way to this fucking place without knowing of where I am, which was quite fun, as you could see by my beach running adventure. But that one time, there were like weird young. I don't know if they were hobos, but they were definitely on something. Spice, right? Or whatever the fuck they partaken over there. In the McDonald's arguing, like loudly. I'm like, what? Have some fucking courtesy. If you're going to argue outside. Don't argue inside the McDonald's when I'm trying to have whatever the fuck you guys had there. Your dehydrated small burgers. It's like an aperitif. Like the burgers are this big. You could eat them in one bite. And then the breakfast ones, it's like, oh, would you like some curry? What? Curry? On my what? On my breakfast sandwich? No, thank you. No, thank you. I want some good old-fashioned American eggs that come out of a carton and sausage that Lord knows what it's been through. So I guess we'll do this, right? The way that I'm gonna do this is I do have something that I want to go through, a video that I want to comment on, but we'll have a test. We'll have a tester. Let me see if anybody's on the Discord. If you guys want a round for this first one, new audio detected. Would you like to switch to this? Don't switch. Right. So the way this will work is that if you're on the Discord, join the general pig voice chat or the magic one. It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to drag you. I'm going to drag you to the super secret voice chat. And then that's how we'll take care of that. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this. And I do recall. Not Kalen. Fuck. How did I get them mixed up? Blaze. My goodness. I get my white people mixed up, right? So Blaze, Sarah. For some reason, I got him confused with Kalen Morelli. Odd. I know that he had a weird system that he used on his show, but that's the way I'm going to do it with that. But I guess before we do that, I want to talk about this article, or not this article, this video that I found. But before that, let me look at the comments, because this is an interactive show, my friends. I don't want to neglect you guys, because you guys are what makes this a thing. If not, I'd be here talking to myself, which usually that's the way it is, right? That's the way it goes. But I see this as therapy. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around and listening to my therapy. So let's see what some of you guys are saying. Do you like talking about guns in America? That can be a fun conversation, right? Talking about gun use in the States. That's great. That's phenomenal. A wonderful topic. Hey, what's your opinion on that's the stereotype question, right? What's your opinion on the political status of the country that you're living in? And then you could get into some wonderful back and forths. Lo, I feel safe with Peter Turner by my side. He would disarm the robbers by telling them that their star sign and their deepest secrets. Well, I do remember that the first night that I stayed at his house, I was kind of drunk. See, this thing keeps turning off. I don't like that. Right? The monitor over here. I think Discord, for some reason, is fucking up my OBS. And it's not on your side, I think. It's only on my side. But this monitor on my laptop freezes. And I've noticed that ever since I destroyed my laptop by plugging in a USB hub from Five Below, that it destroyed my entire hard drive and the connectors to it. So it's happened ever since that. So I don't think it's something I could fix. Maybe drivers, because refreshing the drivers fixes it. Your boy's thinking IT-wise, right? That's what I'm boiling up in my head. I'm not just completely retarded, okay? I have some thought in my head. But Peter, when I was first in his house, I think I mentioned this before, but he's hammered, and I'm pretty hammered as well. And he's like, so what's gonna happen if somebody comes up to you and wants to start something? I'm like, I'm gonna throw something and then run away. Like, I'm not gonna stick around. The fuck? I'm not stupid. And like, I know my height, right? So there are certain people that I know I could take, even though they might be taller, because they're 97 pounds and like 6'2". I'm like, I could take that guy. He's skin and bones. Give him a good old German suplex and he's good to go, right? But you know, certain bigger lads, obviously I'm aware of my weight class. I might have a big ego, but I know my limits. Right, so it's like, what are you gonna do? Somebody runs up to you and fights you. I'm like, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna throw something at them, a chair. I'm gonna push them away, run. I'm gonna, hit them in the dick and run. They all end with run, right? You don't want to get into a confrontation. That's retarded. That's how you end up stabbed, especially in a foreign country. I don't know anything. So he goes, no, let me show you this. And then he's like, try to hit me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna try to hit you. He goes, try to hit me. I'm like, all right. I try to punch him, do the standard. He goes, no, but try. I try, and then he's doing all these fucking takedowns. And he takes me down and he goes, how's that? It's when I used to be a bouncer, right? It's like, it's Aikido. And he's getting me in all these fucking holds and shit. And it fucking hurts because he's like 9,700 pounds and I'm 150 pounds. And he's there leaning with this fucking shit. And I remember the next morning, he's like, I don't know anything about Aikido, by the way. Like, I figured. I figured you just want to beat me up to let me know that I can't fuck with you. That I can't fuck with you because you just absolutely destroyed me. So that was one of my another fun experience that I will never forget. Being thrown around under the auspices of Aikido, but really there was no Aikido taking place in that sparring session. Everybody's too shy now. Get better answers talking to yourself. Good morning, Pig. Currently drinking some of that cherry Pepsi. Says Pepsi Addict. I've told you many times. Looks fine for us. Discord and OBS are only crapping for you. Yeah, no, it's. I think it's when I have too many video incidents happening at the same time. My video driver on my primary monitor fucks up, and then I have to deal with this on a secondary monitor. It's all right, but as long as it's not affecting you guys. But I can't see myself right now. I'm frozen like this on my own monitor, but that's okay. I don't need to see myself. I know what I look like. I look quite homeless, but I won't forget that. But Pepsi is shit. I'm sorry to tell you, Pepsi Addict. I know you frequently comment on this channel, and I do appreciate it. But I'm going to be honest with you, Pepsi's pretty garbage. I'm a strict Coke guy, even though if you watch that ham radio episode where Daniel put me through the ringer and we tried different products to determine which one is the best cola, I thought I'd be the king of Coke, Coca-Cola, the classic, and I was wrong. I was wrong twice. We did it twice, and Coke was not the better option, unfortunately. Now I think I do have a leg to stand on with diet soda products. Right. Personally, I'm a fan of Coke Zero, Diet Coke. I prefer Diet Coke a little bit more because obviously it's the RIP, right? RIP, the former drink of one of our former presidents that I can't name for fear of upsetting certain individuals. But it's that preferred Coke, so I like it. But I think for diet sodas, I could probably pick out Diet Coke from the bunch. Now, I had the same sort of ego when it came to picking out Coke, and it turns out that my favorite cola is RC Cola. It turns out that RC Cola is the best tasting in my opinion, which is, I feel like trash. I feel like gutter trash. I might as well move into, what's the city, speaking of England? Bradford. I might as well move to Bradford. That's a very specific reference to only individuals that are familiar with that particular town, but it's a shit town. So I think I could do it with Diet Coke, and I might do that. That might be a challenge that I set up. Next time I have somebody here, I might have them record me and do the test for that. Dr. Pepper is in a different league of its own. Dr. Pepper, I'm not going to consider that. Dr. Pepper would be more in line with a cherry soda, as a matter of fact. It's very cherry-like. But I'll give you Dr. Pepper because it's quickly become one of my favorite drinks. So I'm glad that we could get into the real heavy-hitting articles that are heavy-hitting topics here on the show, right? People say, oh, what are we missing out on? Oh, you're missing out on me talking about myself. Let's see. Michael Lawrence says, did you see Sean Devine's new video, rocking the PigCake shirt? Yeah, I'm kind of I didn't realize this, by the way, but when I initially set that shirt up, my profit is $2 on that shirt because I'm an idiot. So I'm like, oh, you bought a shirt. Let me see the metrics. And I see that particular shirt. Like an idiot, I set it so I only make $2 profit retardedly on Teespring, which is all right. Right? It's better. It's cheaper that way. But it's my least favorite shirt. It's the shirt with the PigCake logo on it. I don't like that one as much as I do the ham radio one with the small logo, the pig face one. There are other ones that I prefer. The PigCake Pigsachi collection by Manel, which did a wondrous amount of sales. God damn it. I realize merch is not really a good thing to magic community, right? Merch isn't something magicians are interested in for the most part, right? You'll find here and there, but it's not really that. Useful things they want to buy. Decks of playing cards, props. Those are things that magicians are interested in. Not fucking merch. So I should have thought that. But I'm putting it out there. I'm casting a net, seeing what works, what doesn't work, right? That's kind of the way I'm figuring out marketing and business retardedly. No profit for virgins. That's true. You see, but I did see him wearing a very grateful. Now I got to buy a Sean Devine shirt. I also have to buy a Magic Orthodoxy shirt because he's been rocking my shirt as well. And I told him, hey, now I got to buy one of your shirts, and I haven't. And I feel like an asshole for not buying one of his shirts. So that's the other side of the coin. You're spoiling our conversation. I'm very open and honest, right? I'm very open and honest with my metrics. I don't have to hide anything. But now, unfortunately, I love the collection. It's my favorite collection. But unfortunately, I don't think magicians are interested in Pigsachi shirts, right? But I am. Pepsi's Flat Coke. Okay, let me go back to Sean Devine. I appreciate it. And it's funny that somebody wrote that because he put it on Instagram. And he goes, this is the sort of comments that, I got. PigCake is trash. Jesus. Let me see if I could actually find these, because here's the thing, right? I didn't receive any of these video comments on when Illusionist posted my stuff. When they posted my videos, people were tagging at PigCake, and they weren't tagging at PigCake69, which is my actual Instagram handle. So I didn't see any of these until very recently. All these comments, and oh boy, am I taken aback. So in yesterday's video, or not yesterday, but a couple of days ago, I did a video compilation, but kind of a cut of a live stream. And yeah, I saw this guy goes, bro, let Kalen do new shit. This is embarrassing. Somebody says, what's the R word? Because I guess I used the word retarded, and this individual says it's an ableist slur used to refer to cognitively impaired and neurodivergent people. It's a lot of highfalutin language. Glad you're reminding people that you're better than everybody else. Cole Blaine. But yeah, I didn't read these until now. PigCake harms the magic community. Don't talk about how platforming content like this alienates people of marginalized genders. What are you talking about? So yeah, I didn't read any of these until recently. And oh boy, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. I didn't know those. I didn't see those. It was quite a fun read though, and a lot of stretching. That's what I realized. A lot of stretching. A lot of not hypotheticals, but a lot of, hey, this is what you said, and we're gonna is the right word conflate this from that? I don't think that's the way it works. I don't know if that's the way it works there, buddy. Mr. Blaine. Yes, kind of holding back here. But if I psychically send to the camera what I'm thinking about these individuals, you could kind of pick up on it. You could be a Peter Turner. You could be a mentalist, a perceptionist. Pick up what I'm thinking, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. The first thought of what I think of these individuals is the correct one. So this is something that I saw. I'm not a huge fan of psychics. I think I've made this apparent on this show. And every time I see anything remotely related to psychics, I just kind of lose my mind, right? I lose my mind because it's hysterical to watch people doing terrible cold reading and really subpar versions of it, like not even good versions of it. I would at least appreciate it if you did, like if you studied it and you did it well and you really put effort into your psychic mentalist ability. You're using mentalism. Essentially, using magic-related ideas and moves and methods in order to pretend that you're psychic. You're LARPing. You're LARPing, which is, I guess, what we all do. It's what we all do as as magicians. We LARP as real magicians. But most people know the gig. But most people know, hey, what we're doing is sleight of hand. We're deceiving you. We're lying. Mentalism is a little bit out there. Not gonna lie, mentalism is a little bit out there. Depends on how you perform it. People could have the perception that you might be psychic. But I think if you're outright claiming to have all these abilities, it's because you're trying to find you're trying to make yourself more interesting. You're trying to make yourself more interesting. That's kind of the way I see it. So here is one by Vice, right? Vice magazine. Hopefully I could do this without completely blowing everything up. Okay, I don't see it, so we'll have to go here and see if there you go. Okay, now I could see it. My goodness, is my setup just the best? Let me go here. Oh, great. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great, guys? Let me see if I could put the I don't know if my fucking camera, is that the video camera? I can't see. Hopefully, if I press this button, I'm going to show up. I apologize for this, by the way. Okay, there you go. There's multiple room piggy. Or multiple dimension piggy. Fuck. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. But I didn't have my camera on because I was using this to record my desktop. So here we are. This is the video, right? How to talk to the dead according to psychics, right? This is from Vice magazine. Vice magazine is used to be great. I was a huge fan of their stuff when they went to North Korea, when they went to Russia, Siberia. They talked about this guy that thought he was Jesus, Siberian Jesus. They have since, as of 5 years, but still pretty recent. This is sort of the content that they put out. Can swallowing semen cause problems? That's the sort of vibe that you get from Vice magazine, right? So they're going to be fairly positive, I imagine, about the psychics and their abilities. But I remember I saw maybe a little bit of this, and I never saw the rest of it. So I thought, let's watch it together. Let's watch it together, guys. Let's watch it as a unit here, as a PigCake community, right? Just feel my embrace. Lord knows you guys haven't had the embrace from your family or your friends for a long time, ever since you came out of the proverbial magic closet. But no, that's why you have Daddy Pig here. Just give you a little bit of a hug. All right, let me just feel it. Yeah, that's Davidoff Cool Water that you're smelling. Hope you enjoy it. Right, kind of clean scent, very summery fragrance. Hope you enjoy it, because that's what I'm gonna leave on you after our hug. So let's watch this. Now, here's the thing, right? Again, I'm sorry before I press fucking play on this. I'm going to have a lot of commentary, right? Because I've seen these comments every time I do a video when it's like a reaction video, and people go, just let the video play. If that's the case, then you could just watch the original video, right? The difference between that form of content and this is that this is a reaction, right? So if she says something dumb and I pause it, that's the nature of this style of content. Right, that's the way a reaction video works, or a commentary video works. If you want to watch the video uninterrupted, you just watch the video. So, oh, yeah, you pause it too much. Yeah, that's the point. Okay, so let's go. I can't go. I was gonna press okay, let's go, but I don't have a setup for this particular section. So let's see.
As soon as you hear psychic, you're like, I don't really want to deal with that.
I am not telepathic. I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist.
Well, tell me what I'm thinking of. Well, give me the lotto numbers.
If readers could tell you what the winning lottery numbers are, do you think that we wouldn't be rich ourselves?
Now, I don't want to be mean-spirited, right? Lord knows. I don't want to be mean-spirited. However, there's a commonality to all these individuals, right? Just on the peripheral here. There's a very common thing when it comes to all these people. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you could kind of figure it out. Maybe the first one isn't. No, okay. No,
As
she's
soon
not.
as you hear psychic, you're like,
Okay.
I don't really want to deal
But
with that.
90% of them, 90% of them,
I
right?
am not telepathic. I'm
Let's see.
pretty sure that doesn't
Yep.
exist.
That's one.
Well, tell me what I'm thinking of. Well, give me the
That's
lotto
two.
numbers.
If readers could tell you what the winning lottery numbers are, do you
It's the
think that we
same one?
wouldn't
Okay, so 2/3 of them.
be rich ourselves?
I think that everyone is intuitive and everyone's born psychic. It's just kind of like building that muscle, you know?
Now, here's another thing, right? Here's something that I've mentioned before on various psychic videos. It's a made-up academia, right? So their thing is that they make up all these terms, they make up all these things, right? And then the implication is you should know about this. Like, you should know that you're intuitive with your. It's like, well, no, you shouldn't, because what you're doing are magic tricks. You're doing magic tricks shittily for dumb people. That's kind of the vibe of psychics. So in this case, what she's probably going to say now, what they're probably going to say is, here are the do's and don'ts. Don't go to a psychic and try to figure out what they're doing, right? Don't do that. Don't use your brain. Don't think about it. Don't just go with the experience. Deal with the experience. They're also probably going to say something like, go with an open mind. Do go with an open mind, right? And try to take in as much as you can, which is just a way of saying, hey, when we fuck up, please forget about that. Don't worry about the fuck ups. Remember the good times. It's like that Rick and Morty episode with the memory, right? Where they're stuck in the house and all the fucking mind creatures are giving them fake memories. And then Mrs. Refrigerator is like, oh, you don't remember all the good times we had? You don't remember the good times we had? And it's like, well, no, I don't. And then you find out she's one of the demons. It's this, essentially. Hey, you remember the good times we had? Yeah, remember that. Don't forget the times when I asked you the entire alphabet and asked you if that made sense. Like, hey, I'm seeing a B. No, not a B. How about a C, D? No. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. I hope I didn't fuck up my order there. That would have been embarrassing. But you get the point.
Don't ask me when you're going to die.
Don't try to come in and see what I get wrong.
And don't ask your reader to spy on somebody else for you. People will come to you and ask, is my boyfriend cheating on me? Really, the question should be, is this relationship worth your time and energy?
Definitely come with some type of objective or something that you'd like to accomplish. Maybe you want to get a better job. Maybe you want to find the love of your life.
If you're a friend or a family member, don't come up to me and say, read me.
Would you want to work?
That's great, right? Like, hey, have something that I could work on and let me know. I don't want to start cold. Oh, you're here to talk about your boyfriend? All right, that's great. There's like 3 things you could talk about when it comes to asking about a significant other. Is the relationship going to last? Is the person going to change, right? Whatever the fuck. Are they cheating? It's like 3 or 4 things that you could be worrying about if you're coming to a psychic and asking about relationships. What? So, yeah, okay. Tell me the topic so then I could cold read from there. Or I could do pretty much just cast a net and then see what comes in a fucking net.
For free at your job?
It is customary to tip your reader, and a lot of people don't know that. Do tip your reader.
So, like most of these people, you're not going through an organization. You're not going through a psychic network, which I've seen is a thing. But most people, you're hitting them up. It's an individual, right? They probably get paid in Cash App or Venmo. So what do you mean tip? I'm already paying you the fee for you to read me. What do you mean tip? I got a tip for you. Well, not her, but I got a tip for most of you. People don't remember the misses, only the hits. James Randi had an audio recording of a person's reading, and the psychic threw out almost 40 names, and they hit on 2. A participant didn't remember. What's this? Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Heads up, we detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. What? Yeah, that's not the way it works. It's transformative, you fuck. I really hope that the stream doesn't get blocked up. But if it hasn't gotten blocked up now, It's not gonna get blocked up, but it's still kind of annoying. But yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that great? Hey, tell me what I could tell you about. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to figure out what you're here for. Just tell me what it is that you want to find out, and then we'll work from there. It's ridiculous. My wife is listening in and laughing her ass off at your psychic rant. So funny because it's true. It's unfortunately true, and I didn't realize that it was such a big thing that people go to psychics on occasion. I have a friend and she's like, "Oh, my friend went to see a psychic, but can you explain this? Could you explain that?" I'm like, "No, I can't because I'm not there." But at the same time, if you recorded the session, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to find these things. You're going to have an instance where they're fishing for things and essentially using their gut. So it's kind of ridiculous when someone like Mistress, let's think what her name is here. Let's go back. And not this one. I don't want to be on another compilation video for making a name up for this one.
Want to work for free at your job?
It is customary to tip your reader.
But this one's white. I can make fun of her. You know what? Mistress Cheeseburger. All right. When you go to see Mistress Cheeseburger, you end up, giving. Oh, fuck. Sorry. You end up giving her already the list of topics essentially that you want to talk about. So it's not hard for her to kind of figure out what it is that you're going to go with. And they've done this many times where they go with a certain look. They go with an individual that's a skeptic. They go dressed in a certain way in like a business suit. And then they're going to be like, yeah, because your work is really getting in the way of your relationship. And then they go looking like a bum and they go, oh yeah, you might want to consider getting a job because the other person is feeling like they have to overdo and you're underdoing and you're not meeting in the middle. It's like, yeah, obviously you're just looking at the way I'm dressed. So I like the South Park John Edwards episode. Yeah, very good. South Park is always really good when it comes to nailing these sort of topics. Manel says, don't make us questions that we can't give an ambiguous response. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's like, no. I want to find out. I don't want to work hard. Usually they come in cold and you're going to have to like, are you here because of something to do with, I don't know. Sorry, I'm too busy thinking of the fact that there's a special at my local Burger King. That's mean. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. But they have to, they're working to get that topic out of you. So imagine you already come in there with the topic that you tell them. From there, it's just smooth sailing. And you're going to a psychic, so half the work's already done. So let's finish up this. Mind you, it's only been a minute, and I've stopped this about 20 times.
And a lot of people don't know that. Do tip your reader.
Let's see where they take
So
this
when
shit.
I think of the word psychic, I think of the people who are in Times Square trying to flag you down.
I prefer the word seer. I prefer intuitive counselor.
You can be clairvoyant.
Because if you look up seer, an intuitive counselor, it's not going to come up with scam. If you look up psychic, all you're going to find is psychic, debunked, exposed, psychic methods. That's all you're going to find up if you look up psychic. Whereas seer, you might find some interesting stuff with that, but not a lot of people are debunking seers. So good business.
You can be clairaudient, clairsentient, a medium. There's so many different types of being psychic. You can just be kind of sensitive in the sense that you are an empath and you can pick up on other people's energies.
Oh, let's see where this goes. This is always great, right? When it's like you listen to a conversation about like robbers and thieves and long time people that have spent most of their life in jail telling you about like well, I mean, I guess it would be better for you to listen to someone that's actually been in jail if they're actually being honest and saying like, hey, look, this is what we're looking out for. But when you have a group like psychics saying like, no, we really don't like the scammers in our industry. We really don't like the people that are taking advantage of others. And it's like, okay. Tell me more about that.
So unfortunately, there are predatory people in this industry.
I have a huge issue with some of the storefront psychics that are neon signs because a lot of them, they definitely prey on really weak individuals.
I was a victim of scamming. I've spent thousands. They'll say, your mother's cursed, and so you're cursed, and we need to get this thing off of you.
If someone's asking you for $3,000 every month for the next 3 months, that's probably a sign that this is somebody who's just trying to use you to pay their rent.
If there's like a word that's spelled wrong on their sign, that is a red flag, okay?
That's the most like milquetoast shit I've ever heard. Like, hey, let's make up all these scenarios that have never happened or rarely happen as the the general rule. Like, hey, look, we hate scammers. There are a lot of scammers in our industry, right? And then she's there in the mirror, like, just looking at herself. Isn't that great? That's so thick, pun intended. What? Is the kettle calling the pot black here in this scenario? Because there are the psychics that do believe in their own ability, right? So they do have the certain psychics that aren't necessarily the ones that are out there looking to scam. They're the ones that think, oh, I do have a general ability, right? But then you have the ones that are like, all right, let me just, use some stuff here, take advantage play. And then some start off as, here are my intuitive abilities, and they realize, oh, it's so much better to cheat. My goodness, this is so much easier to cheat rather than relying on your gut instinct. So that's kind of an odd thing, but we'll give it to that. I just find it very funny that they address the main concern, which is that you're lying to me, which a lot of people don't see because they do happen to. It's still up. I still see psychic tarot stores open. And I'm like, how are you in business? I don't understand how you've survived all this time, because you have to pay rent for the venue. You have to, I imagine, have some sort of business fee that you're paying in order to not accurately, but to have your business at that particular place. So there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of overhead. So that's kind of an odd thing. Good topic for mentalism. Do you use a disclaimer? I feel that Banachek had the best response. He says he uses all his 5 senses to create the illusion of a 6 instead of claiming he's psychic. Yeah, it's a good one, because that way you give the audience sort of a good expectation of what they are to see. And I believe Banachek's heavy on the picking certain things up based on your body language and all the other stuff based compared to the other more esoteric mentalists that are just like, okay, think about it, and they don't really talk about what the process is. Banachek kind of takes that from the beginning, where he mentions the process from the very beginning. The process is pretending to be a psychic using the things that most of us have. It's the sight, smell, touch, all these other things. So that's kind of a good way to present it. But it really depends on how you want to portray yourself. But some people don't have a problem in the mentalism community with people thinking that they're psychic, which is all right. I mean, I guess, whatever. But I think that the underlying difference there is that those people aren't taking advantage of others. Whereas that's more of an entertainment sort of component, whereas psychics their intent is almost to change your direction of life based on their reading, right? So you go to a psychic, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? Almost like a consultant, which I think is taking advantage of people. Where a mentalist, if you're leaving a mentalist thinking that he's a psychic, it's, typically because the methods were really well covered. And it's not going to be an issue necessarily because there's the entertaining component of it. He's not telling you things that are changing your life. He's giving you, a fucking test, a book test, or he's doing any sort of these things where he has you write down a name and he tells you what the name is. So it's more entertainment in that aspect. It's not with the intent of any consultation, which I think is a scammy part of psychics. Checking in from Vegas. Hey, boy. A, didn't make it out to Vegas because it's fucking expensive as shit to domestically travel in the States. Unbelievably so. It's cheaper to go to Europe than to go anywhere in the States recently, which is odd because I looked up flights to like South Dakota and it's like $800 for South Dakota. Who would willingly go from Miami, Florida to South Dakota? You should be paying me $800. What? You should be ashamed of yourself, with yourself. You should be ashamed of and with yourself. So let's finish this up and then get into the bulk of the rest of this lovely, lovely call-in special, which has not had call-ins yet, right? I think I saw some people there, but we'll go back to that in a bit. See what this bullshit is.
My experience in talking with the dead is rewarding. It's unique. And it's powerful, and I think it helps to give closure.
Weird stuff can happen sometimes. So I'm sitting across the table from this client, basically a demon face comes at me, and I actually had to ask this client to leave and give them a refund because I couldn't.
This October, I was doing a reading for a girl that sat down, and we had these trees that were part of the setup for the psychic fair. And these trees had little lights connected to them. As I was doing the mediumship reading, the trees started flashing. But it was only 2 trees out of 7 trees. And I knew that it was a message because she was literally sitting right in front of these 2 trees. She was like, yeah, my dad named me, and my name in Hebrew means tree. And they stopped flashing once we acknowledged it.
I love that. I love that. It's like there's some weird, oh, my name in this Swahili is actually the very thing that's having some sort of effect right now. Isn't that what a fucking coincidence? I remember directly after 9/11, you had all the psychics that are making all these connections, right? And one of them, my grandmother used to watch a channel called Univision, right? Which Univision, right? I guess it's out of Mexico, but it's like it's like a Latin American CNN essentially. And she would watch all these shows, and they had all the novelas, and you had like a psychic show up, right, in this fucking talk show. And this guy's like, oh, no, we should have seen all the things coming up to 9/11. If you convert this and you change this number, it adds up to 911. So these are the ethereal connections to the fact that we could have predicted this. The psychic community could have predicted this. And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. And my grandma's there just eating it up like, oh, no, it's fucking for real, man. It's fucking for real. Some people know this shit. I'm like, come on, bro. Did you see how many psychics there is in Blackpool? How many psychic? Yeah, that's kind of nuts. That is a little bit nuts. I didn't realize that there would be so much, because again, it's money to rent out these venues. I don't know how cheap it is to rent out a storefront in Blackpool, England, but I imagine it's still something. And there's a lot of fucking psychics here in Miami. It's fucking expensive as shit. Rent is up the ass for everywhere. If you want to rent out a small storefront, it's $1,700 a month for a shitty place, essentially. So where are you getting those funds? Are you heavy in debt? Like, how does that work? I don't know how that works when it comes to them keeping up. And in very prominent areas, like very touristy areas, I don't know how they do it, because you never see them working. You pass by. I mean, I walk by one fairly frequently, and there's never people there. And you see the window, you see the storefront, and nobody's ever there. So it's kind of an odd little thing. And you wonder, oh, might be a front, might be one of these situations, right? This is my sign language method of saying money laundering. Mexican TV always got shawties. That is true. Mexican TV always has the shawties, right? The news people are always just tens. The weather ladies, they know what they're doing, especially at Univision. Primer Impacto was a show that I would watch as a youth, and I'm like, man, those are just some pretty ladies. Before I knew what pretty ladies were. Worst bat mitzvah story ever, says Aiden O'Shea. I don't know where you're going before that. Maybe you left a comment. Chico, me too. I was hoping to see you at Magic Live. Yeah, I did get a couple people sending me, I was going to say letters. No, sending me messages like, hey, man, I'm here. And I'm like, I didn't go, dude. It was a little bit too expensive. I have a fat tax payment coming up, and I don't want to be like, I'm going to go to Vegas and party it up, and then to go to the IRS and go, I'm sorry. Huh? Can I make it up to you? IRS don't play I'm sorry. So I made a business decision to not do that. My mom is big into psychics. She used to believe Sylvia Browne was the greatest thing ever until she was proven wrong, but she still believes in that shit. Yeah, my mom still has Sylvia Browne books. And I'm like, Mom, come on. I get it, but Jesus. Like, what a grasp this fucking woman had on middle-aged women for her entire life. The Sylvia Browne character, Jesus Christ. Her books and her appearances on TV and shit, and her services that were always backed up. Obviously, she could be lying, but the fact that she was able to live, if you looked up her house and shit, like, she was living fairly well. And from essentially the backbone of middle-aged white women trying to portray themselves as her. Kind of odd. Let's see where they go with crystals. My goodness.
So these are all my little crystal balls. Beautiful blue calcite, which is really good for communication. This is one of my favorite ones to read with. This is my boy. Every crystal has a certain property.
I'm willing to bet that she sells crystals, by the way. That's the way it kind of works. It's a pyramid scheme. You go to one of these psychic shows or whatever the fuck. They have all these lined up. It's really like magic. It's really like a fucking magic convention if you look at it. But they sell all these crystals, and what they're doing is they're trying to make back the money that they spent on these balls of fucking glass, essentially. So then they either sell you crystals, or they fucking, try to make up their losses with their fucking their sessions. But it's essentially a pyramid scheme. Like, oh, you want to be a psychic? Well, you need a crystal. I just so happen to sell these crystals, and you could buy them. You could buy them in bulk and then sell them. Tell people that they're psychic too for the low price of $300 for a small crystal ball.
This one's for angelic communication. So I use this one for mediumship a lot.
Who came up with that? Like, I'm sorry, but who the fuck set the standard for that? Like, oh, this blue crystal ball is specifically for that. Says who? Says fucking who? Someone said it once and then now it's like a thing? Like, somebody made that up, and somebody's very rich because of that shit.
Each reader's gift is very unique, and it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to lie, a little bit of it is watching certain body language. You know, you pay attention to the words that your client is using. You don't really...
We've come to a little bit of, I'd say, honesty for once, right? I'm not going to lie. Sometimes look at the body language of the individual. That's not really psychic, is it? Mistress Cheeseburger? That's not really that psychic, I would say. That's more of fucking lying. I think that's more lying than anything. I really couldn't come up with a better term than that. I apologize. I thought I'd be quicker at 11:51, but I'm not. I'm fucking not. But yeah, what do you mean? Why would you know, if you're psychic, I'm expecting you to use your psychic ability, right? Use the people that are talking to you, your guardian angel, not fucking your reading my body language. I could go to Banachek for that. I could just have Turner look at me and tell me what my star sign is for all that. But that's a little bit funny that she at least admitted to that.
Tell you your fortune. It's not really like that.
Don't expect me to tell you what to do about whatever is going on with you. Like, I can give you an outlook, but I'm not going to tell you, do not deal with this person or do not take that job, because we have free will. The choice is yours. That's the beautiful thing about being a human. We have choices.
I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face, but nothing's going to change until you actually take steps towards changing it.
Best thing to do.
Yeah, isn't that a great way to absolve responsibility, right? Isn't it? Like, no. Ultimately, the choice is up to you. Yeah, but 99% of psychics will give you advice on what to do and will tell you, hey, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. They will tell you that. That's kind of the point of it. So it's kind of thick for them to say that, knowing that they have done that and they do that. And that's kind of part of the whole shebang bang. And it's kind of interesting that they're like, no, the choice is yours. Ultimately, whatever you do is up to you. Yeah, all right, but it was under the context of what you told me to do. Right? But no, I have the choice to do it? No. That's not the way it works, buddy. That's not the way it works. So they're absolving any sort of responsibility if they're wrong because they put the action on you. You had to take the steps. I might have told you to do that, but no. You did it on your own, sister. And then they vanish in a puff of Dorito dust. Man. I could see why. I get all those terrible comments. God damn it. Rohan Clear says, through Batman, did you read his book? Sounds like it. Uri Geller's a strange one. I think he believes in himself. I don't know. I think I've turned around on Uri. Because you've kept it on so long that I'm like, man, you're just an OG. You are just an OG at this point when it comes to his shit. Suing Nintendo, right? Imagine big balls in order to go to Nintendo and be like, no. You're basing a Pokemon off of me. And then they couldn't use that Pokemon until recently, I think, in their shows and shit, from my understanding. Again, I'm not that much of a virgin, so I wouldn't know that. But I remember reading something about that fairly recently. So let's cap off this video that's taken 30 minutes to get through.
Do is to keep yourself accountable in your question. And what can I do to make this happen? What can I do to facilitate this change that I need? I think there is room for skepticism. I used to make fun of all of this stuff. And it was the best lesson in humility.
Yeah, until you started making money.
For me, when I realized I was wrong, very wrong. I'm here.
Yeah, there's a league of middle-aged women just burning a hole in their pocket, wondering, oh, God, I have all this money. How can I spend it on something? Oh, I know. I'm going to have another middle-aged woman tell me what to do. That's exactly what I want to spend it on.
For a skeptic. If you're ready for a reading, I'll read for a skeptic. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I guess. So that's that video. Kind of an interesting little bit. Let me reset this, right? Is this? I really hope Your stream has been temporarily blocked because we detected copyrighted audio and video. I'm wondering if this is still a thing. I really hope that it's not completely blocked. You know what? If you could still see this, put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you could still see this. Because at least from YouTube, YouTube is saying, oh, hey, buddy, you're not here. Don't switch. Reaction stream is B's titties. I think you pressed the wrong button.